So, I've been playing TF2 for a while, and as I approach 1,000 hours in game, I've come to realize what it is that makes Team Fortress 2 so special yet familiar to me. The thing that makes it feel like a home every time I start it up. Because the more I think about it, it reminds me of another game that, once upon a time, felt just the same. Yep, when I play Team Fortress 2, I am deeply reminded of Super Smash Bros. Now, these two games couldn't be further apart in what they are, but in many ways they couldn't be more the same. A platforming fighter party game and a team-based first-person shooter, but they feel so similar in the fact that both are games steeped deeply in a casual setting yet filled to the brim with an extreme competitive skill ceiling. They maintain the precarious balance of silliness and skill to appeal to my kind of gamer, the one that wants business and pleasure in a single package, providing a one-stop shop of a game when you want to laugh your ass off or wipe the floor with someone else's. You see, my journey through these two games have been very similar, though unique in their own ways. I have played Smash for roughly 13 years, and I've played Team Fortress 2 for just over 1. What drew me to both was the fun aspect. The lively characters, the bright and detailed environments and art, the fun mechanics, and the loving community. What held me was the ability to hone and master the game to become the best player I can. Both Smash and Team Fortress 2 are very good at maintaining the balance of the game, making sure that there is enough fun, enough silliness to allow the game to be enjoyable even in the most hardcore of settings, while still keeping the skill ceiling and the challenge of the game high enough to allow people who want to play the game more seriously to push it to its absolute limits. And that is what makes Smash and Team Fortress 2 so fun as games, is it can appeal to anyone into any mood. You can play it just to be silly, just to have a fun time. You can go have your little Captain Falcon dittos, or, go Market Garden. You can have your little silly moments of just random bullshit going on that's just going to be fun. Or you can knuckle down and you can really work on taking the mechanics of the game as far as they possibly can to become the absolute best you can be. And that kind of balance is very, very important to a game. It's what builds a community, and it's what holds a community. And overall, I think that is one of the biggest things that both Smash and Team Fortress 2 had going for it. Unfortunately, though, just over a year ago, I decided to quit Smash. Despite 13 years of dedicated play, going through 3 games, and amassing a collection of merchandise, including 54 amiibo, I came to absolutely despise playing Super Smash Bros. And quit. A game that I had loved for over a decade, one of the first games I had ever played as a child. And I had grown to absolutely hate playing the game despite still loving everything about it. What happened? Well, at least in my eyes, Nintendo stopped caring about the game. They threw the balance out the window. You see, for those of you who haven't played Smash 4, one of the big attractions of the new installment was the implementation of downloadable content characters. At first, it was alright. Bringing back Roy, Mewtwo, and Lucas were great moves to bring back older fans who had lost their favorite melee fighters. Then there was Ryu. A nice crossover with some weird gimmicks that seemed a little iffy, but tolerable. Cloud came, and the cracks started to show. And then the calamity of Smash. The Dark Storm, the blackest night in the history of Smash. Bayonetta. The winner of the Smash ballot, Bayonetta, was released for a small fee, the complete destabilization of the game. For months, the only viable character against Bayonetta, aside from another Bayonetta, was Pikachu. As a 12-year Captain Falcon main, I was not pleased in any regards. It was infuriating to have my experience completely thrown out the window by $5 and a 15-minute training montage that was the equivalent of a new Mortal Kombat player slamming every button on the controller and somehow winning. Despite the frustration, I managed to persist long enough to see the DLC goddess get struck down to the lower tiers when Nintendo finally decided to balance things out a bit, but the damage was done. And the DLC characters have since claimed the highest tiers of the Smash meta. Nintendo decided that money was worth throwing out the balance of the game, and thus destroyed any enjoyment I had for it. Because for a small fee, you had a character who was not fun and completely destroyed the comp side. It destroyed both sides of Smash that held me. There was a character who was completely unfun to play against, who whenever you went on, there was no way you were going to have any enjoyment of the game. And if you wanted to play it competitively, well, screw that. This character has 0 to death combos. There's nothing you can do about it, no matter how good you are, unless you play Pikachu or also succumb to the Bayonetta meta. There's nothing. There's no chance you had. Fortunately, though, I feel like TF2 has managed to avoid the same issue, but by the skin of its teeth. The balance and upkeep of the game has been clearly neglected by Valve, but at the same time the community has stepped in, and for the most part, unlike Smash, people tend to avoid abusing the cracks of the game to ruin it for others. That isn't to say that there isn't a toxic level of spawn campers, exploiters, hackers, crutch users, black box, conch, machina, danger shield, dead greener, backburner, guillotine, sandman, etc, etc. TF2 is full of problems and bullshit, but we've learned how to deal with them, ignore them, and just live by an unwritten set of rules to keep things enjoyable and fun. And the comp setting is more than regulated in order to keep it a balanced and enjoyable experience for everyone that pushes you to the absolute limits of what Team Fortress 2 can do. In conclusion, I think that TF2 in many ways exhibits a lot of similarities with Super Smash Bros. In the way it is designed, in the way it interacts with the player. I think they're very, very similar. And I come into Team Fortress 2 kind of seeing the same things that were in Smash, and I think that's one thing that allows me to love it as much as I do. But it's also what gives me a bit of perspective to see things from. It allows me to see what it is that holds me to the game and what it is that would be the thing that would force me away. And I think a lot of people could agree that especially if you've played Smash, that there's a lot of similarities and there's a lot that Team Fortress 2 could learn from taking the example of Super Smash Bros. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. I hope it gave you something to think about, and I hope it was very enjoyable for you all. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you in the next video.